What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another reading. Today, I'm just doing a reading for the collective. I have been doing a lot of personal insight, and I've came to a realization. I wanted my channel to be more so not about what everybody else is doing and put my own personal passion into it. And I found myself kind of watching other people's readings and imitating other people, if I can be, truthful with you guys. And I didn't like that about what I was putting out into my content. So I've decided today that I am just going to go with the flow and go where my heart is leading me. And with that, I wanted my readings to be obviously what came out in the readings, what energy I'm getting through the readings, but also I want my readings to be very powerful, influential. I want my readings to touch people, to guide people, or to give people insight on where they're being guided. So I'm doing things a little different. I know you guys saw it, and it's so crazy how spirit works because let me tell you, I spent all day yesterday doing sign readings, like zodiac sign readings, and it wasn't something that I really had planned on doing, and it wasn't something that I was really interested in doing, but I was thinking from a place of not really my heart space, and I did that. Well, let me tell you what happened. If you guys see, I only have Aquarius up uploaded on my thing. All of the other readings I did, all of the other readings that I spent all day doing, literally I did not have my microphone on. So if that wasn't like spirit telling me that I need to, do some self-inquiry and ask myself some questions, which I did and got the answers to. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it how I have intended to keep it. And I hope that you guys get something out of my style of tarot reading. So with that being said, I am so glad to share my space with you guys. I'm so glad that out of everybody, you guys decided to watch my video. And if you guys really feel called to, and only if you feel called to, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into it. All right, I'm going to pull some cards for the energy of the collective. Okay. What is the energy of the collective reading today? What energies are going on with my collective family today? All right, one more shuffle and then I will pull a card. Moon in Leo. It is an important time to guard against being self-centered, over-opinionated, or pushy. I think we can all relate to that, right? Especially when we feel like our way is the only way, and we aren't really giving respect to other people's opinions and moves or whatever we're having based opinions on, or whatever we're being too pushy on other people about. And it could also be about our beliefs or what we feel is right. We just always have to remember that everybody has their own path. Everybody is being led to their own purpose. And for somebody to do one thing that you might not agree with, you just never know why they're doing it or the intention. So I feel, and I'm I've always felt like this, we can only control ourselves in our own minds. Everything outside of that is beyond our control. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to pull one more of these. The Wolf, Moon Totem. Beware of letting your wilder instincts spin out of control. Yeah, we need to get a leash on that. We need to get a leash on not having discipline, not having control in our lives, not having control of our lives, not having control over our mind, not having control over what's coming out of our mouths, not having control over meeting our goals in life. You know, we are responsible for our future, and we cannot keep playing victim. We have to take control of where we want our life to go, where we're trying to be in the near future. Beware of letting your wilder instincts spin out of control. That could also be like anger, hate, fear, envy, jealousy, greed. You know, we have to be aware of all of those negative energies, all of our dark shadows, all of our demons. If we don't have a hold of them. Have you guys ever heard the saying, don't unleash your dragon, like keep your dragon held tight, you know, because once we get comfortable, or if we've done all of the work and then we get complacent or get comfortable, we can easily go back to being unaware of our behaviors and what we are putting out, or possibly what's coming out of us that we don't intend to have come out of us. You know, we always want to be in control of our emotions, in control of our feelings. Okay. Let's go on with some more cards. I'm not getting into tarot yet. I'm just going to freestyle it, see what comes up. You know, see where my intuition leads me, see where spirit leads me, see what I am called to bring forth to you guys. Okay? All right. Karmic relationships. Okay, so I'm sure we are all familiar with karmic relationships, and if you're not, take heed, because they are very important in our lives, and some people look at them as negative aspects of our lives, which they can be, but more so less. Anything karmic is here to teach us lessons, teach us what patterns we keep coming across that we haven't controlled yet, or we haven't been aware of to change them. Karmic relationships have a lot to do with conflicts, betrayal, anything that's getting your emotions wound up, anything that's getting your emotions out of sync, out of whack, anything that's making you feel like you're about to lose your mind. And I know for me, I can relate to that so much when it comes to a lot of my past relationships. I know that I've had a lot of karmic relationships, and it doesn't just have to be with a significant other or you know, a love affair. It can be with any type of relationship, family, friends, lovers, and anything that you can think of can be karmic. And that comes, how we break those karmic cycles is coming into realizing those patterns, realizing the boundaries that you haven't set, why those things keep happening to you. And let's remember, if we ever want to evolve as a human being or as a consciousness, we have to start being aware of what is going on with us. We can't keep pointing the finger outside. It's always got to be what is coming from us. Because once, like I said in the beginning, we cannot change anybody but ourselves. We cannot change anything outside of ourselves. So we have to really be aware of where these patterns are coming from. Why do we keep having these magnetic pulls to the attractions that we are attracting and not necessarily wanting them? Start asking yourself, okay, what am I doing to keep attracting these negative characters or negative anything, negative paths, negative patterns, any of that? You need, you know, if we want to get down to it, we have to get down to the core of it, the root of it, and figure out, start asking those deep questions. Why? What? How? You know? So, yeah, that's a deep one. Okay, the great serving, which is all about Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So, for me, what I'm getting out of this is some of you could have been through a lot of conflict in your life, a lot of anger. And anger is a secondhand emotion. You know, anger comes from somewhere, whether it be feeling lack or feeling like you're not getting the love you deserve or need, or feeling like you're not getting the attention that you deserve or need. Anger comes from different emotions. We get angry because we feel a different type of way. And for a lot of us, anger and fear and conflict and being let down over and over and over again um, gets us into a feeling of just hardness, a feeling of numbness, a feeling of we're not in tune with ourselves or our emotions, and that's not good because we don't want to harden up. We always want to stay soft because we don't want to bring our old baggage into the next, and possibly the next could be somebody or something that is going to greatly benefit our lives, bring forth to our lives and not take from our lives. So we want to always have a clean, clear mind when we're letting the next thing in, even if it's the next thing after something that's detrimentally effed you up. You know what I mean? We don't want to bring those old feelings and emotions into the new. So what I'm feeling out of this is softening to love after anger and conflict and fear is, what do you have to do to forgive and forget and move on and know? A lot of times it's very hard to forgive somebody because we've we've allowed people to do such traumatic things to us, and we've stayed and stayed and stayed and hoped and held on to hoping for a better outcome eventually, or thinking we could possibly change the outcome, but we stayed a little bit too long, a little bit longer than our stay was wanted or needed or should have, let us. So what can we do to soften our hearts? What can we do to lift that negativity from us, to really get all of that hate and anger and fear and trust issues and all this out of us in any aspect of our lives, and really take away all the blockages that have been built up on our hearts, so we can learn to trust again, love again, and it starts with us to have healthy relationships. It starts with healthy boundaries. It starts with self-care. It starts with emotional care. It starts with everything with us, with who we are. We can't love, or we can't be loved until we know how to love ourselves. We can't have all this excess baggage and bring it into the next relationship and expect to have everything that is going to nurture and fulfill us. So if whoever I'm talking to finds themselves going in these circles and going in these cycles, just know that you may have to take some time to figure out what is going on within you. What is going on inside you for you to keep attracting these relationships? Because yes, it's so easy to point the finger elsewhere and to say, oh, he or she did this and it's this fault. This is this fault. This is this fault. But at the end of the day, what is that doing for our growth? What is that doing for our happiness? What is that doing to bring in what we desire in our life? Okay. Soul memory, lost lands, soul memories and gifts. You've done this before. Yes. So, if you guys believe in reincarnation or next lifetime things, Some of you may, some of you may not, but I wholeheartedly believe in that, and I wholeheartedly believe that we are just on a different lifetime, but the same process, which is evolving, healing. And I feel like once we start tapping into, getting a routine down of healing, or getting a routine down of bettering ourselves, and focusing on ourselves for once, not putting our energy and focus on anything outside of us, but putting it all within us. We start to learn that, hey, this isn't so bad. This actually feels good. I am comfortable with this. This feels very familiar. This feels natural. This feels like something that I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel like that is a lot of what this card is trying to tell us, that once we start tapping into different things, and also, let me finish what I was saying. Once we start tapping into different things, we'll start realizing the beauty of working on ourselves. But also, for some of you, I feel like you guys have been through some very tough times in life and very traumatic experiences, and you're having a very hard time forgiving. You're having a very hard time not bringing the anger and hatred into your mind and your thoughts. You're not, or the revengeness. And I'm feeling led to tell you guys that be happy, like be happy for and grateful. That's the word I was looking for. Be grateful for, those experiences, because if you are one of those people who are really trying to figure life out and figure out where you want to go in life and what your purpose is, and you haven't figured that out yet, I guarantee you, if you really sit down and reflect on your whole life from your first traumatic event, or from your first memory of something not going so great, or something leaving a dark impression on your soul, you take inventory of all of those different things that have happened to you, then you will slowly find what your purpose is, because all of those dark imprints are where we find our true gifts. All of those dark imprints are where we get the tools and we get the wisdom that we need to embark on our purpose. That's what molds us into the warriors that we are, to really conquer life and have a successful and happy life. So it's not always a bad thing. And once you start realizing that, hey, this didn't happen to me, this happened for me, that's when your soul is evolving. That's when that you're starting to see reality for what it is. You're starting to recognize the game called life. All right, I'm going to shuffle these. Messenger. Bringing harmony and balance. Yeah, guys, so this goes a lot off of what we've been talking about. For some of you, I feel like you are struggling to find the balance and harmony in your life. And I feel like for some of you, it's so much, you're putting too much emphasis on it. You're putting too much, let me think of the word. You're putting too much focus into it, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be as hard as what you're making it. All we have is right now, this moment right here. not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. And when we start thinking in that mindset, we can start focusing on, okay, what little steps do we need to do for now? What is going to better me for today? What is going to bring me what I need? What can I get done in one day where I still have control over my mind and I still have control over my sanity and my emotions and my physical well-being are balanced out and my mind is in peace and harmony. I feel like we put way too much on ourselves, and we try to conquer so much at one time, and we try to we want everything so fast. We want instantaneous gratification. We want everything rewarded at once. We don't want to wait. We don't want to put the real time and effort in that gets real time and effort results. But something that I've learned from always living the fast life, always wanting to get fast money, always wanting to get, instant gratification, always searching for the good feeling. What's going to give me that good feeling? Because I was so broken and so just feeling so miserable inside that I searched for anything that was going to give me that quick fix. You know what I mean? But you're being called to slow down, slow down, take a deep breath, really focus, bring your awareness into the picture, because when we don't really focus or when we don't really move with awareness and we're not aware of what we're really doing, then that's when things become all mixed up and stirred up and we don't know which way to go from here or here. We have all these things and they're just piling up and it's stressing us out and we can't put one foot in front of the other because it seems like just a never-ending thing. We don't even know where to start. So we need to bring harmony and balance into our lives. And how do we do that? Yes, this is life. Life is going to go on whether we're in tune with it or not. We do have financial necessities that we have to worry about. We have home life we have to worry about. We have so much we have to worry about. But let me ask you a question. Is it going to matter if you're stressing yourself out, worrying? Is that going to fix anything? Rather than you sitting down, taking a breath, becoming aware, maybe writing some stuff down that you have to do, and starting to set out a plan and a routine and not build yourself up with the world on your shoulders and just take it little by little. And once you've gotten that part off of your shoulders, then you can pick something else up and get to it. It's baby steps, but nothing successful happens overnight. That's like a once in a lifetime thing. Like somebody maybe starts a YouTube channel, for instance, and puts one video out there and gets all these views and all these gets rich off of one video. How often does that happen? Usually people have to, gracefully come into that. So we have to think about that, about harmony and balance. Surrender to the sweetness. Make love to life, pleasure and joy. Yeah, that's like this reading is just going off of each other one by one by one. I love when that happens. So yeah, romanticize your life. Romanticize the things you're doing. Stop being in such a rush. Stop to smell the roses. Like, I know that's so cliche, but seriously, stop to enjoy life for a minute. Stop and realize what you're doing, because sometimes there's so much beauty that we're missing because we're only focused, we have laser focus on one direction, and we're supposed to have focus on our whole surroundings, what is going on in every degree of our life. That's where you can start seeing the beauty of life and really start putting the work in to gain the beauty that you can have in your life. It's all about sacrifice. It's all about direction. It's all about patience. Patience is huge. Like, we are so used to everything coming to us like full speed and our life moving in full speed. I feel like we're coming into a time where everybody is realizing that, hey, this is not working. It's time to really, slow down. Give my body a break. Give my mind a break. Let me really get my thoughts together, and then I'll figure it out. Because I can't figure anything out when my mind's all discombobulated and I feel like I'm about to pull my hair out. Baby steps. I can't make this up, you guys. Baby steps. Baby steps. Yes. So, really think before you act. Don't just act because you want to react to something. And that can go even with speaking. Sometimes we feel like we have to be all this talking and making sense and looking good, and the ego kicks in. We don't want to be working from the ego. It's okay to pause and think, so whatever you're saying can come out a little more clear and maybe touch somebody a little deeper than it would if you're just blurting things out. And that goes the same way with our actions. If we're rushing to do 5 things at once rather than taking our time and putting a little bit of passion and effort into it, which one do you think is going to be the better outcome? Yeah, the one was received faster, but even if the other one was received in behind the faster one, which one do you think is going to be the one that's getting the looks and the one that's getting the attention? Obviously, mind state of success and having things and building your future. Okay, and that's what the King of Swords is all about. The King of Swords has conquered his self. He's self-mastered his mind. He has conquered all of the emotional aspects of his life. He's conquered, or he's learned all of the lessons through the pain and the sorrow and the hard times that he's had to endure throughout his life. He has overcame that. He has learned that there was meaning in that part of his life or her life, but is now coming out of that part and putting out into the world everything that he has become aware of, everything that all of the tools that he has learned through all of his hardships. This can also be, mental clarity, authority. You're coming into authority of yourself, your life. You're coming into the mental clarity that I am not broken. I am not limited. I am actually limitless. Being upgraded. This is time for upgrades. We're not lacking anymore. We're in full abundant mode. We are in receiving mode. Anything that we think of, anything that we can imagine, we can have. We have come to the realization that we control our reality. We shift our reality when we say we want to. Nobody else has control over that. Queen of Cups. Somebody's got some abundance coming in. Somebody's got a lot of intuition. Somebody has deepened their intuition. Somebody has, like I said with the King of Swords, mastering yourself. Well, this is all about, the healing and sitting on your throne, sitting with no worries. You have control over your mind. You don't ruminate on past or future things. You're in the here and now. You're focused on what can I do how can I serve myself so I can serve others. healing mode. You're good. You're calm. You're nurturing. You are a positive person to be around. Being around you is like a privilege because you have put the work in to be I'm getting so tongue tied with my words today, guys. But you know how you're around somebody sometimes and you just feel the energy, like you just feel the negativity coming from them, and it doesn't even have to be like a hate negativity or like aggressive negativity, but it can just be from somebody who is very burdened with their own worries in life. Have you guys ever felt like that? I know I have. Well, you are a person where somebody can sit beside you and feel the peace coming off of you. Sit beside you and actually gain peace just from being in your presence. All right, the Eight of Wands. Yeah. Somebody's moving quickly. Somebody's manifesting quickly. All your deepest desires are coming into fruition. And do you know why? Because you've put the work in to where everything that you're projecting from the inside is projecting outside. And you're no longer projecting fear, hate, lack, victimization. You're projecting love, abundance, hope, faith, gratitude. And what we feed our souls with is what we are going to receive from the universe, because we are what we eat, literally. Somebody could be traveling. Somebody could be traveling in an airplane. Somebody could be traveling through the air. Somebody could be going skydiving. Somebody could be going hang gliding. I mean, anything. Travel is a huge thing, though, but it doesn't have to necessarily be traveling, in an airplane. You could use it as another sense. Somebody could be, just wanting more adventure in their life, wanting to do something that has to do with the sky, adventure in the sky, or physical travel. Somebody could be having to travel possibly for work, or traveling to get more self-realization, traveling for their spiritual purpose, traveling for family, traveling for possibly another relationship, or their relationship, a long-term relationship. I'm hearing. Let's see, swift change, quick decisions. Yeah, for some of you, you might have to be, making a decision, and it could possibly be very hard. With traveling, maybe for some of you, you necessarily don't want to have to travel, but for what you're trying to bring forth in your life, it requires that. So you have a huge decision to make. And maybe for others of you, your significant other is moving, and you're going to have a long distance relationship. Yeah, it could be a multitude of things, plethora of things. So just take it how it resonates. The Chariot. Yes, somebody is definitely doing some moving, doing some departure. For somebody, I'm hearing, somebody's buying a house. Well, let me see on this. And I hate bringing stuff like this up, but sometimes I feel like people need to hear it. But what just came into my mind, and I don't know why, maybe somebody does need to hear this, is for some of you, possibly you could be getting evicted, and you are feeling hopeless, and you don't have control over your emotions right now. You don't know what you're going to do about it. You don't know how you're going to make this work, how you're going to overcome this, but trust the process. Trust the universe. If you've honestly done everything that you can do for the betterment of yourself, and you are trying, you are putting an effort into for your life, then all the worst things that happen to us in life at that moment looks like a hurricane just came over our lives. But the hardest things that we have to overcome are what is the biggest things needed to further us to finding our true selves, further us to finding our purpose. And a lot of times, 99% of the time, it's a blessing in disguise. So don't always think when you get into this negative, find yourself in a negative situation, don't always think about the negative. Try to think about why this is happening. What could be the good possibilities of why this is happening. You know, we get so stuck in thinking about the negative, but sometimes I feel like we need to just reprogram our minds into, why is this negative thing happening to me? And what good is going to come out of this negative thing happening to me? And try not to look at it as such a negative thing that's happening to you, because sometimes we can't move ourselves, so we're being pushed away, literally pushed away from what is no longer serving us, so we can step more into what we are supposed to be stepping into, if that makes sense. The Ace of Swords, yeah. The Ace of Swords. Yeah, for some of you guys, you're going to be getting some breakthroughs. You're going to be getting some mental clarity on something. Maybe something that you guys have been ruminating on, something that you have no answers to, possibly something that happened. Maybe you had to flee from somewhere, from somewhere that you were staying, and you had to flee from there because something happened, and now you don't really know what happened. You don't have the words for it, but I'm hearing that you are going to get some clarity on this situation, and you're going to have a breakthrough from this clarity. It's going to be very influential in your life, what you are about to find out. It's a part of you. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your purpose, is what I'm hearing. What else did this say? New conflict. New conflict. Like I said, the breakthrough and clarity that you may be receiving may cause a lot of conflict and tension between you and whoever the other party that was involved, but that is just another way for the things that no longer serve us to be cleared from our lives, so we can step into the direction that we are meant to step into. Sometimes we can't do it for ourselves, so it takes the universe and spirit to step in for us and do our dirty work, because that's literally what it is. And it may not look like that for you right now, but I promise you, give it some time and see the beauty in why you had to go through that, what you gained out of it, and you will realize exactly what I'm talking about. The Two of Pentacles. For some of you, I'm hearing that you and this goes a lot with the whole reading. Juggling too many things at one time, having too many projects going on at one time, having too many ideas coming at one time, possibly having juggling two relationships at one time, or your significant other juggling two relationships, and you are going to get some insight about that. And I hate for that I don't really like things like that to come up, but I feel like everybody needs clarity on situations that happen all the time, every day. It's a normal thing, and I feel like we should all have the right to know what is going on that's going to affect us in this kind of ways. So yeah, that's just what's coming up. So this card could possibly mean that, but more so less, it means how are you going to adapt? How are you going to find balance? How are you going to harmonize all of the things that you are, wanting to manifest or wanting to happen for you, or juggling? Maybe you get some weight lifted off of your shoulders. How are you going to balance all of this out. For some of you, I'm hearing time management. For some of you, you're not using your time wisely. And that could be with anything. Our time is precious. So that's really all we have is time. And when we are putting ourselves into, when we're stepping into our purpose, we sometimes, or we're stepping into whatever, when we're stepping into anything that is driving us, anything that is motivating us, when we're putting our energy into it, sometimes it can be very time consuming, and it can leave us drained and leave us depleted and feeling like we have no time for ourselves. You should really think about how you can manage your time, how you can find the time to incorporate a healthy routine for yourself, for your mind. And that could be just waking up a little bit earlier, going to sleep a little bit, going to sleep a little bit earlier so you can wake up a little bit earlier, just to get that little bit of time to ground yourself and to feel like you are able to move forward. And that's for somebody that is finding themselves overwhelmed with what life is bringing forth to them. All right, I am going to finish up the tarot cards and pull a couple more cards, like messages. Some of these messages might have prompts on them or little activities that you can do if you feel called to do it. I am a huge believer in doing the dirty work so I can feel better, whether that be journaling, writing, listening to motivational speeches, exercising, meditating, anything like that. So I am a firm believer in all of that. I would recommend it to anyone. It has tremendously changed my life, and I would feel so amazing if other people can feel those same, benefits from doing so. So if you feel called to, you can. If not, maybe, you can figure out other ways to make yourself feel better. If you are not feeling better, if you're feeling called to want to put the work in to heal and all that. Okay, I'm going to do 3 more shuffles. Spirit, can we get a message for somebody who needs to hear it the most? A message for somebody who needs to hear it the most. Touch their hearts. Synchronize their feelings, their thoughts with this card. What else could this mean? There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at a situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? Yeah, guys, not jumping to conclusions, not assuming things, because I know I have been one to always feel like my intuition is so strong and everything that came to my mind, and this is more so less when I was not really in a healthy mind state, when I was going through a lot of things, and a lot of things from the inside were projecting out, and my mind was playing tricks on me. So I was assuming things and thinking every little insight that came to my mind was real, and it messed me up, So really, I feel like this card is really telling us to make sure that whatever beliefs or whatever fears you have, wherever it's coming from, make sure that it is a fact. Ask yourself, is this a fact? Do I know this? Where is this coming from? Or ask yourself, what else could this mean? That goes a lot with thinking positive as well, or transmuting your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Like if you're saying, oh my gosh, I have this, I'm dying. Like that's a huge drastic detail or drastic, whatever. But ask yourself, what else could this be? You know, get a little grounded with yourself. Don't freak yourself out. Is there, okay, today's soul action. Is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that is ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? And did I not just say that in the beginning? Start thinking more so less as not why is this happening to me, but why but why is this happening for me? Because that can change your whole perspective, and especially get rid of those negative thoughts, because those negative thoughts will drag you down. It's your ego. Your ego wants to survive, so your ego is going to force you to think any type of way. We have to deplete that. We have to release the ego so we can start thinking from our true self, from our higher self, from our true essence, from the gods or goddesses within. Whew. But anyway, guys, it was such a pleasure being here with you. I really hope you enjoyed this reading for you guys, and I really hope that you got something out of it. I know I usually always get something out of the readings that I listen to. I try to listen to a lot of readings that are going to uplift me and not so much bring me down. I try to stay away from the negative readings, because I'm telling you, it's very powerful listening to positive words of wisdom every day. So keep that in mind when you go to watch your next video. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Stay blessed.